Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of MidRank Madness. This is a game between NJC and Alco on Paladino Terminal, the latter edition. In the top left side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is NJC, represented by the little cute Zergling from Carbot Animations. And in the bottom right side of the map, we have the blue Terran player. It is Alco, complaining, or perhaps just explaining, that this map is tiny. I mean, it's not that tiny. It's probably the size of Daybreak, right? I mean, it's not Whirlwind or anything, but I'd say it's average size. NJC says, I've spawned it like 3 or 4 games in a row now. Paladino Terminal, pretty popular. Again, not named after Falcon Paladin. Although I'd be very honored if that happened to be the case. If Blizzard was like, what up, Falcon Paladin? We're going to name a map after you. Alco says, this is the first time I've been on this map. Oh, this could be good. This could be interesting to see these players on this new map. So this is MidRank Madness. It is our used to be weekly, now twice weekly examination of Gold, Platinum, and Diamond level replays sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. The best ones get chosen by my screeners and I will cast them. And that's what we're looking at. This is actually one, I want to correct that a little bit. This is one sent in to me by one of my Patreon supporters. And if you're a Patreon supporter at the $10 or a month level or higher, then I will cast one of your games. And there's not an end to that. So it might be once every month, once every couple of months, but I'll keep you around. I'll support you at that level. I'll kind of give back as we get a Marine, not a Reaper from Alco. Anyway, link in the top right to my Patreon page, which probably already popped up here. So go ahead and check it out. I'll cast your games. We can set up some other interesting rewards as well. But thanks to everybody who already does support me on Patreon. Excellent, excellent for you to do so. Really helps me to keep going with this 2-a-day casting strategy, which is good. It is good. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps me busy. And I hope you enjoy it as well. So SCV Scout from Alco here at 2 minutes. Just trying to see what is up from the Zerg player. Spawning pool just now popping. Expansion hatch done first of all. Immediately getting 2 queens. NJC right now. What are we looking at from the Terran player? He is going for that double barracks and a factory here. Starport going to be next. Time for a starport. Ready, set, Alco, go. No, instead he made what? He got stim. Instead he got stim. So this looks kind of like the 5-minute double medevac drop play, but I don't know. I mean, it looks like the timing's a little bit off here. The order in which he did it is possibly not correct. I imagine if you go to Liquipedia, searching Liquipedia, you will see instructions on how to do this build perfectly to where you get your medevacs out on time. But you know what? Maybe that's not what Alco's doing after all. Maybe he's not trying to follow that build, and I'm just assuming that he is. Oh, supply depot blocked by Alco at the 3rd base by NJC. Again, this is a weird map. It's a really weird map. You have multiple entrances here, which Zerg and Protoss players hate, or rather Terran and Protoss players hate. This whole area, you have to come in on the left side. There's one as well. There's another area where you can come in down this way. It's the reason why Alco hasn't expanded yet is the problem. He's worried. He's worried about giant Ling run-bys. Getting some Hellions to deal with that. Actually, this drone by NGC coming all the way home and getting roasted up. That's why drones, you don't chase all the way home. 3rd hatch coming up by NJC. Replacement 3rd hatch here to the right and down of his main base, and a Roach Warren coming in for the Zerg player now. There's your starport. There's your starport for Alco. Going to go ahead and do the swap. Do the swap action using the reactor that the factory built. And is it time to go? Is it time to double pump those Marines? I mean, medevacs it is. It is time to double pump those medevacs. Stim coming in. We do have Marines coming out of 2 barracks. And this might work out. This might work out fairly well for our Terran player in the long run. But I'll be surprised if he gets it out here. You know, the really good Terran players, around 4.5, 4:45 or so is when they start moving out. But again, this is MidRank Madness. It is not pro level. So we do have an allowance for some timing issues for sure. Maybe a tiny bit of a supply block as well. Spinecrawler coming up for our Zerg player. Where is it? Here is natural base. Worried about some attacks at the front, possibly from Hellions. But you know what? That's not what it is. And he's moving out. He doesn't have the medevacs full, though, is our difference now. So he's going to wait for that. Going to wait for enough Marines to fill his medevacs, or at least mostly fill his medevacs, I suppose. He's got 4 more spots here. We'll get there. We'll get there, Alco. Again, timing a little bit janky, but that's fine. What you need is an expansion. You really need an expansion. You can do this with an expansion if you do it right. But Alco 1 basing it. Meanwhile, the Zerg has 3 bases, which is not a good look. Not a good look. NJC does, in fact, have the Roach skin, which makes Roaches look just awesome. Spikes all over and kind of different orange highlights, and Here comes right up the front are these medevacs. Gonna drop right. Nope. Drops a Hellion. And then says, there are a million roaches on the ground. No, not going to happen. Boosting up around. Maybe trying to get inside the main. Maybe trying to go for the third. Go for the third. Go for the third. Yes, going for the third. Unloading on this low ground. Dropping a Widow Mine here. And juking back. Just trying. The roaches did not buy that, though. I think he hoped that the roaches would go defend the third base so we could attack the main. But instead, that is not what happened whatsoever. Did he actually pick up that medevac and not let it burrow? I think he did. I think he did. Kill this queen. Kill this queen. Dude, Alco. All right. NJC did nothing to defend that. I feel like Alco, especially with Stim, could have taken down that third base. But instead, he just heads right on back home. You have to push that advantage. You have to push it. Dude, also, where's your expansion? You can't be 5.5 minutes in without an expansion at this point in time. I know it's scary. I know there's a lot of ways for Zerg to come in and mess with you. We have a Liberator for base defense now. That's very nice. You have a lot of Marines. You have some Hellions. At the same time, not with the combat shield, though. It is on the way. It is coming up on that research page. Galil Reconstitution coming up for NJC and just kind of hanging back, getting some Ravagers as well. 30 to 31 Harvesters. Alco is now expanding. Okay, he did have a command center coming up at some point here. Some point. He did start constructing when it's incredibly late is what it is. NJC's third base up and running. 33 to 32 Harvesters. And here we go. Ravagers, Roaches moving out across this map. Lings as well. Going to try to come in one of these ways, but there's a Liberator here and another Liberator in... Are you in Defender mode? Yeah, what are you defending? Oh, wait. Nope. There we go. Now in Defender mode. And there's a tank on the high ground. So defending this pretty well for his first time ever playing on this map is Alco. Overseer getting shot at. Hellion trying to bait these units into the Defender mode circles, but NJC says, nope. No thanks. Not going to do that one. Thank you for inviting me into your home, but I have the feeling I'll get murdered if I go in, so no. 7 more Roaches in production by NJC. SCV production continuing quite nicely for Alco. 35 to 37 Harvesters. Zerg player up, but not by much right now. So Roach Ravager with some good Corrosive Biles, maybe to take down that Liberator. Corrosive Biles thrown down and getting some hits off on those Marines. Do not walk through there. Alco stimming back, running, stimming back. Medevacs, heal me. Heal me. I'm running away. Medevacs are like, dude, I will heal you if you were in combat, but just because you stimmed and ran away is kind of embarrassing, don't you think? Tank production continuing for Alco as well. Corrosive Biles do take out the Liberator. Nicely done. Is he coming in? He is coming in. He is walking in here. Corrosive Biles being tossed down eventually. They're right on top of a tank as well. Getting a nice concave here. Trying to pull back to where his tank on the high ground can get involved. And there it is. Second tank helping immensely here. At the same time, Roaches are falling very, very quickly. All that's left here are some Ravagers, but that's pretty good. Corrosive Bile throwing down. Liberator killed. But NJC decides it is time to retreat. Another Liberator setting up shop here at the natural base. Does get killed by Queens, but not before she took down 5 drones during that attack. So nice job sneaking that around there. Alco, excellent job to be sure. So 42 to 34 Harvesters. Alco macroing his face off right now. Tank on the high ground. Trying to kill these Ravagers that are coming in this left side entry. Bunch of Lings coming in as well. Taking shots from that tank though. Not great. Not great. And a nice hold there with the Marines plugging up that hole they were running through. So Alco holding it off. Holding it off, doing it well. Third base here by NJC. Not necessarily saturated. I feel like he should have been droning up behind that attack, but to this point, I think he's in a pretty good spot for a Zerg player. Fusion Core coming in for Alco. Likely going to be for advanced ballistics, extending the range of his Liberators. Although he doesn't have any Liberators, so maybe it is going to be a battlecruiser move out of Alco. We've seen a little bit of this on the channel in recent days and weeks with that battlecruiser buff. No energy to use the Yamato Cannon or the Tactical Jump abilities. Instead, they're both on cooldowns, which is nice. It is really nice for the Terran for sure. Fourth base coming up for NJC along the very top side of this map. Very, very top center. It actually kind of looks like George Washington on the mini-map there with the face and the wig and the poofy things on the side. Spire coming in for NJC as well. And there's a lot of stuff on this production tab for the Terran player. +1/+1 for his Marines and Marauders and Ghosts. Continuing to make Marines, continuing to make tanks and medevacs and supply depots and an armory. And additional barracks, spending his money excellently well. NJC's letting his gas pile up a little bit. He just hit 1,000 gas. Only has about 300 minerals in the bank. So I'm not sure, is he maybe going for mutas? Based on the way he's saving up the gas, if it's intentional, I'd say he's going for muta. The Spire just finished. He can make about 10 mutas once he has enough minerals to do so, but gas is no problem at this point, and it expanding to a 5th base below his natural base as well. So a bit of a double expand play here by NJC. Alco taking a 3rd base of his own, trying to keep up in the macro game. Excellent job. Hydralisk Den on the way here in the natural base by NJC. Again, it's kind of at the front. I'm just not a fan of putting tech structures at the front. Put them in the back where they can be safe inside the main base. Evolution chamber there as well. I guess maybe he doesn't want to get dropped, right? Getting dropped and losing a Hydralisk Den is kind of embarrassing. Glial Muscular Augments coming in for NJC. +1 ground carapace for the Zerg player. Creep spread continuing fairly well for NJC as well. I like this. He's got several fronts that he's pushing creep tumors across, and I guess he's been left alone for the past 5 minutes, basically. At which point you can just spread creep and expand and make 18 drones. Oh, 18 drones at once here for NJC. Excellent job. 52 to 56 workers for Alco right now, but not for long. Not for long is how I would explain that. Thor production beginning by Alco, getting Liberators as well. He's done nothing with this fusion core. I mean, I guess he doesn't even really have a starport with, let's see, structures. A starport with an attached tech lab, so he can't make battle cruisers, unfortunately. Unfortunately for him, and unfortunately for us as well. So what is NJC going for? He's going for this Roach Ravager Hydra Ling play. Upgrade's pretty good. +1 missile attack done here on the melee. Do the Lings have any attacks? Do we have the melee? Nope, no melee attacks there as well. I really like upgrades, you guys. I really like upgrades. 5 mutas coming in. Infestation Pit, Morphin for NJC at the same time. Kind of reminds me of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. If you guys have seen, they're doing a remake and a reboot of the Power Rangers series, which, I don't know, I liked it when I was a kid. The TV show on, I was probably, I want to say 11 or 12 when it was on. My parents were not huge fans because it taught us to karate chop each other in the head, me and my siblings. They were not big fans of any of those, you know, violent kids shows, but we watched it anyway when they weren't around, and it was a good time. I have no hopes that this movie will be any good, but perhaps I will be proven wrong. Seems a possibility. Speed for the Overlords, just about to complete for NJC, getting +2 missile attack, getting Burrow. Do like Burrow, but here comes Alco, Liberator, Marine, Tank, Thor. Pretty good composition here out of our Terran player, moving in to threaten this 4th base of NJC. I'm not sure if there's anything to stop this. Defender Mode Circle's being thrown up on the backside. Marines coming in, a full drone pull. NJC, I think he might just lose this entirely. And, yep, there's nothing to stop this from happening. The Marines do, in fact, have +1/+1 and stim and combat shield. I don't think Alco lost a single unit taking that base down. NJC just conceding the point entirely. He has a handful of mutas. He's got Lings. He's got Ravagers, getting a Lurker Den and a Baneling Nest, but I don't know. Alco's looking pretty threatening right here. Siege Tanks even have +1 attack along with his Thors. I mean, they share upgrades, so it's not like a separate thing, but anyway, Speed Overlords getting killed here. Just trying to scout things out on the edge of this creep, but Marines and Liberators and Thors, pretty good DPS against Overlords, as it turns out. But it's 171 to 161 total supply. Alco pretty happy with killing that base, but he doesn't know about that base along the bottom left side. He thinks the Zerg player is stuck on 3, but really the Zerg player has 4. So he is up. He's pretty happy where he is. Look at this creep, though. This creep is pushing into Alco's 3rd base. Like, this creep is going to be touching something here in just a couple minutes, or rather seconds. Creep threads pretty fast in Legacy of the Void. Lings coming in, picking up a lot of SCVs. Why are there SCVs here? I do not know. Marines versus Hydralisks and Roaches and Ravagers. Tanks trying to set up in siege mode, and NJC wisely retreating before that happens. Why were these SCVs out there? Were they defending? Were they trying to plug that hole? I guess it's possible. Alco trying to throw down his 4th base here just north of his natural. We've got Marines. We've got Thors. We got them medevacs as well. And NJC, again, I don't know if he can sit on this Roach Ravager small group of Mutalisks Hydra play. There's a lot of tanks on the ground and a lot of Marines as well. He did just make a whole bunch of Zerglings, though, which is kind of nice. +1 carapace on those dudes. Shared by all ground units that the Zerg player can make. Additional barracks under construction by Alco as well. And 4th base has landed. The Eagle has landed on the surface of the moon. Creep spread is here. Yep, it's touching this supply depot next to the planetary fortress here at the 3rd base. And I mean, he might try to sneak another creep tumor up on here. I don't know. I mean, he's pushing on every other front. Ling's getting us surround. Baneling's trying to hit, but no, getting target fired down, and NJC retreating from that battle. Did not like what he saw, and what he saw were 6 siege tanks. Oh, took out the creep tumor. Scanned and killed the creep tumor that was pushing up on his planetary fortress. NJC trying to knock down the rocks, separating him from that third base. One set, anyway, is taken down. Hive, under morphation for NJC. Alco getting more Marines, more tanks, hitting +2/+2 for his Marines. As well, I would say Marauders, but I don't think he actually has any Marauders at this point in time. APM for these dudes around 100, 125 for the Zerg, 111 for Alco. And again, every time NJC gets close, there are just tanks smashing him in the face. Lurkers do manage to burrow in a spot that is fairly advantageous. I mean, it's not exactly close enough to do tons of damage, but it's a good retreat position here for NJC. Getting a surround on that engineering bay and canceling the armor upgrade for the Marines. Lurkers, no, trying to walk in here on top of these tanks, absolutely getting destroyed instead. Marines trying to come up here and save against these Mutalisks, and the tanks, unsupported, do end up getting taken down by NJC. Great job. Banelings taking out tanks, not something you want to see as well, but Marines very angry about that. Going to chase away the remaining Ravagers and Lurkers and Banelings. There is still a Lurker here and does get destroyed with the scan and the kill by the Marines there at that point. 4 Lurkers have been killed, 18 Oroches, 101 Lings in exchange for 58 Marines and 9 tanks. Lings with a bad rally, just walking into the meat grinder. Ouch. Marines getting rid of them. No problemo. That's kind of what NJC did. He remaxed with Lings, which is kind of my mode, right? My modus operandi is, when in doubt, make a whole bunch of Zerglings, which is not necessarily that great against Terran, as it turns out. Taking his 4th base again. Here is Alco doing another SCV transfer, 66 to 70 Harvesters. NJC very happy, although he's expanding again in the bottom left here for a replacement 5th base. Well, whatever. He's replanting the 5th base at the top. We'll call that the 6th in the bottom left there. Marines are going to have +2 attack in just a moment here. 10 Mutalisks in production by NJC. Lurkers on the ground. Ravagers, Lings, Mutalisks. Muta count does not seem healthy. I guess there are 13 of them. Where are they? Muta, 3. Oh, in production. They were in production is what they were. Now he has 13 Mutalisks. Okay. I feel better about things now. NJC taking it another base in the very bottom. Is that his 7th? 7th base in the very bottom. Chucking up Spine Crawlers and Spore Crawlers to defend against it here. Marines trying to come in and stop this from happening. Stopping this insanity. But Spine Crawlers are popping. Wabam. Wabam. Spine Crawler dies. Another Spine Crawler pops. Wabam. Wabam. Another Spine Crawler and another Spine Crawler coming up, though. Banelings hitting. Lings getting surrounds here as well. Marines in nice positions to defend against this, but actually losing them. Unfortunately here, the Liberators getting killed by Mutalisks in the sky. Marine count still alive. Banelings are slow and forced to retreat there as NJC. He needs Baneling speed is what he needs. I feel like that would have helped immensely in his situation. The good news for him is that he has 7 bases. Compared to the Terrans 4 right now. Coming through, pushing through the middle is Alco, though, killing creep tumors, killing Lurkers as well. Pushing up to the 3rd base of NJC. Some Lings spawning. Not that great against these Marines with +2 attack and medevac support. More Lings, Hydras, Queens, and Ravagers getting the surround, though. That should be enough to kill these guys, and just overwhelming force, and that is it. A good game from Alco. And by good game, I mean he rage quit. But he's out, and NJC is victorious. So great job there by NJC, doing a nice job with the surround there, the Lings, Ravagers, a nice multi-purpose composition, a good diverse composition as well, expanding like a madman. Had a hard time with his macro early, but when he got it rolling, expanded a lot, got some good pressure here on Alco. Alco, I don't know. It was time to counterattack. He just didn't have enough to do it, is the problem. He had a ton of money in the bank. I just need to point that out. 6,000 minerals and 2,800 gas. That's a lot. That is a lot of stuff here. He had a lot of buildings. I mean, he did have, what, I guess 5 barracks, 2 factories. I guess maybe a lot more barracks would have been useful. Would have been useful in the situation where he is so heavy on the infantry. But anyway, good effort by Alco, but better win by NJC. So that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of Mid-Rank Madness. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.